into the game.
Welcome back, guys, to the WCS Season 2 Finals. You actually, unfortunately, sorry about this, guys, Todd just solved PVT in its entirety, but because he was muted, you couldn't hear any of it. So maybe next time.
No, I forgot everything that I said.
Oh, amnesia. It was amnesia.
No, I remember.
You remember?
We talked a little bit about Polt versus Grubby. These guys have history. The last time that they played, I think it was at DreamHack, Grubby was able to beat Polt. And I remember one of those games on Belcher Vestige when Grubby proxied a Stargate to go for an Oracle. It was spotted. And at the time, I really thought that if you spot your opponent's proxy Stargate, you are going to win every single time as turn. But somehow Grubby made an Oracle, he kept it alive, and he was able to take the victory. So going into this match, Grubby has been on Polt. Polt doing very well these days, but I don't think his Terran versus Protoss is his best matchup. I think we will both agree that he's a lesser player when it comes down to Terran versus Protoss compared to Bomber. I mean, don't get me wrong. Polt is a fantastic player, but I think his strength resides mostly in his Terran versus Zerg. His Terran versus Terran is superb as well. He's definitely not bad against Protoss, but I do think it's his worst matchup. So Grubby, I also mentioned that during the previous chat, which was muted. I think he studied a lot the VODs of Bomber versus Rain from the last WCS when Rain won 4-1, because he played a very similar style just now when he played against Bomber. It didn't work out for him, but I really felt like he was trying to copy what Rain had gone for. He didn't work out for him, but now he's up against Polt. And if he does the same thing just a little bit better, it might be enough to beat Polt.
It certainly may be. And we are going to get into that first map here in just a second. It's going to be Polt versus Grubby. And just so you guys know, we are aware that the sound might be a little bit low, so we do have our technicians working on that. So we shall jump into our first game here in the series, as we have. Spawning up to the top left-hand corner here as our blue Protoss. He goes by the name of Grubby, representing the Netherlands. And down to the bottom right, representing CM Storm and Korea, we have Polt.
And yeah, as I was mentioning, I think Grubby studied the VODs of Rain versus Bomber quite a lot. Rain was able to win 4-1 in the WCS Korea. So if he tries and go for a similar style here, we are just going to see basically almost the same thing that first just went for when he played Polt, which is Colossus tech into Charge, into Templars with a third base not too late. The execution of Grubby, though, is going to have to be great, because even though first completely dismantled Polt, it was first playing, and he wasn't making any single mistake. It was just super impressive. If you watch first do that, you might be able to tell yourself, wow, maybe I can try and do that as well. But a lot of the time, that's not going to come true. So although Grubby is a very good player, I think he's not going to have any room for mistakes here.
It's a tough one, especially with the fact that Grubby might have had to play his initial games at the time that this series was finishing, so it wasn't really have got too much intel as to what was going on in those games unless he'd gone back and somehow frantically browsed past them, or if somebody had been scouting out like little nuances for him. But anyway, aside from that, Polt, I assume, just doesn't really change much of what he was doing, because it looked fine. It was just, as you said before, it was just first, and first is pretty good.
I have to say the thing that was the worst for Polt in the games versus first was not just the way he traded, not too cost effectively all the time, and it always felt like he was a little bit behind. It's also like the Ghost, remember? He always got them out too late and too few of them, and in the end Storm was just too much for him. So he's going to have to fix that here. But Grubby, what are we seeing? He's going for a Zealot, and look at how much Chrono Boost he saved up here. I think he might be going for a quick Stalker and a Mothership Core behind this. You see, when his core finishes, he's going to have 150 gas. So he can start both at the same time. So his probe count is going to be pretty low, but he's just going to try to do as much damage as he can early on here.
It's very interesting between these two players, because again, normally when you see, there's that Engineering Bay blocked by Polt here once again, and the Zealot has just barely spotted that, so we'll deal.
No, he does not, did he?
He saw it, but yeah, he hasn't gone back to deal with it yet, which is a slight oversight there by Grubby. But the thing is that...
No, he wants to rush and do damage.
Yeah, so he doesn't really care too much. Well, I mean, he cares, but he would care more about actually putting on the pressure. But yeah, they do have that history from DreamHacks.com, and they also have a series, a little bit of a longer time ago before that, in the actual beta of Heart of the Swarm. But the thing is they very rarely does this ever happen.
Yeah.
So
The Reaper actually scouting for proxies. Maybe thinking back of that game where Grubby proxied the Stargate over there. And wow, 1 kill already on that Zealot. Gonna be able to get a second one, I think.
Whoa.
And with the Stalker and Mothership Core getting in there, Polt is in a lot of trouble. He has 2 Marines about to come out. If Grubby goes for those 2 Marines, which is what he should be doing right now,
yeah,
he just kills them, use some time warp maybe, and he's gonna be in a great position.
And denying the production of the bunker is fantastic as
Yeah.
well here. Even forcing the cancellation on the command center, making sure that it has to be built on the high ground. This is fantastic opener here from Grubby.
Polt gonna start pulling some SCVs. Grubby needs to go for the Marines here before there is 4. He can kill them with the Mothership Core and the Stalker in support with some nice time warp.
There's another Stalker on the way as well here, and he's going to try and focus down on the Mothership Core, even using the time warp there to slow a lot of this down. Getting quite a few workers, already killed off 5. Needs to save the Mothership Core though when it does go down with those Stalkers microwaving back, and the Zealot is going to die off pretty quickly here as well. Oh, along with the Stalker.
That was a huge mistake here. This was not supposed to happen, and this might change everything. With 4 Marines and 1 Reaper alive, Grubby, he has to pull back now. He has to wait for an extra Stalker. It's not even worth it to cast those units with just 1 Stalker. And behind this, his natural is still blocked.
Yeah.
And he hasn't started working on this at all.
Brings a Stalker extra forwards here, whilst that Stalker does have to micro back. And unfortunately for him, well, actually, he does get away. So
Grubby's going to take the other base.
Is he? Whoa, really?
Yeah, I mean, it will take too long to clear his natural.
But, I mean, this spreads you really thin, right? It's going to be a lot harder in the mid-game to fully defend against what Polt can throw at you.
I mean, he got a cancel on that first command center, and he killed a bunch of SCVs, so the walker count right now, 17 SCVs to 25 probes. I don't think Grubby is out of it by any means. He has to remake his Mothership Core. He might start a Robo as well behind this, and with the expand he's taking now, I think he's going to be in an okay position.
And the Stalker's still doing a little bit of a light contain here, whilst Polt actually even adds on a bunker at the top of his ramp here, noticing that the natural is still not being taken, so maybe he thinks extra aggression is on the way. But this Reaper's going to hop in and see the majority of the base if he wants to, and realize that there isn't that many gateways down, just a few being added on, or one being added on with Robo.
Just 1 extra one for now.
He has to know, though, that the minerals are somewhere else, right?
Yeah, he has to know there is an expansion somewhere. Like, there is no way Grubby would only have this, especially with the amount of walkers he had. Like, if he had only 16 mineral probes, it would have meant that Grubby basically made like 3 extra gateways on the map, and he's going to go for some kind of immortal bust or heavy gateway push. And now Polt, seeing the amount of walkers, he knows exactly that there is the natural on the 3rd base, so he doesn't even need to scout it.
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, that natural is going to be cleared away there, cancelling that that engineering bay. And Polt, his army's quite sizable, 13 Marines, so they'll keep him nicely defended for now. Might even try and poke across the map and try and force some photon overcharge somewhere, but for now he still doesn't know the natural. The 2nd base even has been taken, so this is a little bit of an odd opener, I would say, in the end.
Yeah, this hasn't been your typical Protoss versus Terran. I have to say, Polt, he's now doing the best job of making SCVs. He's on 26 against 37 probes now. And because he had to fly his main orbital command, which was also very far from his natural there, during all this time, he wasn't making SCVs. Maybe he should have delayed the flight, I guess you could call it, to there. And now he's looking to maybe strike with lots of Marines and 1 Marauder. Grubby doesn't have any Colossus yet. Against this many Marines, it's going to be very hard to trade well, especially since he's so Stalker heavy. He doesn't have a single sentry for Guardian Shield.
Polt saw probes being transferred over to this location with that Reaper, so now he knows where it is and sent all of this army here. And actually, this is going to be pretty hard to hold on to.
Oh,
he's going to lose it. It can't get there.
Oh my god.
Oh, the time warp goes down. That slows down a lot of the army, but there's so much firepower here for Polt.
How does Grubby defend from there? He's bringing a sentry, he's warping in some Zealots from behind, but actually, at this point, this is actually really bad to have his army split in half.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Polt here has so much firepower, and he could actually just kill off these Zealots, kiting them very nicely. He needs to bring all of his forces. He probably needs to pull off probes as well. Otherwise, he's going to take a lot of damage. Pulling them all to the back, making sure he doesn't lose anybody. Supply blocked.
Yeah, Polt's exploiting this 3rd base, or this 2nd base, being on the 3rd here by Grubby, perfectly going there.
Oh, it's going.
Causing mistakes. Grubby is just going to sack his natural, which is on his 3rd, and he might try to take his natural in its rightful position, but he's just so far economically behind this. I mean, he's getting his first Colossus. Look at the income.
Yeah.
600.
Yeah. It's pretty brutal here for Grubby, as Polt has just played this out very nicely. The defensive posture he took early on against what his opponent was doing was very, very nice. Despite losing a few workers, he knew when to actually make sure that he had to pull the SCVs to just not take as much damage as he needed to. And, you know, Grubby right now, trying to get this expansion up, he's still supply blocked. He has this one Colossus out, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think he might have to go all in from there. Like, he sees Polt going for a third now. So Grubby, although he's getting +1 attack upgrades, one of the best choices here he could do would be to go for an all-in, I think. Because coming back in a macro game from there, it's so hard. Polt is now at 44 SCVs against 40 probes. The natural of Grubby is still not up. I mean, he's got his third almost halfway through done. So
yeah,
this is pretty bad news. And he's going into Colossus heavy. This has been spotted now. So you can expect Polt to go into very Viking heavy composition.
Oh, yeah.
And behind this, I mean, you just can't do anything. You will need Storm, but Grubby is just too far behind.
Exactly. It's a tough spot for Grubby because, you know, with that third finishing up soon here for Polt, if he stabilizes really nicely his economy there, and there is that one Zealot poking down, so could do a little bit of harassment. But the thing is that he could even add on a second starport if he wanted to. I don't think he needs to. His Viking production is already flying, but even still.
Polt was trying for a double Medivac drop here with an attack on the third, on the natural at the same time. He's going to steam in there. He has to be careful. The drop in the main is ignored.
Yeah, I think this is perfect by Polt. He knows that his opponent is stretched really, really thinly. He's actually just going to try and go for the Nexus here. A few of these units at the back are not doing the damage that they wanted to the Nexus, so it's not going to go down as quickly as he normally would like to. But at the meanwhile, a little bit of a poke at the front as well, trying to draw Grubby thin once again, and it's succeeding, but Grubby pushes it back for now.
Yeah, and the Colossus here with some nice time warp was able to chase those units away for now, but Polt, he has his third base now, second starport being on the way. He's gonna get so many Vikings, this is gonna be ridiculous. There's gonna be like 15 Vikings against like 3 Colossus or something.
Army counts here right now, 67 to 43. So Polt still very, very sturdy here, whilst even adding on that bunker behind the mineral line, just making sure that any Zealot harassment won't actually hit him hard. And only has, how many Vikings? He has 4 Vikings. If he brings those to the front and starts picking away at this army, there's no Blink Stalkers to fend that off.
Well, there is no Stalkers.
Yeah.
There's 2 Stalkers, I mean.
They're not going to do much.
Blink wouldn't change much with this amount of Stalkers.
And he stims up here trying to snipe out what he can. Does not get the first Colossus just yet, but those Vikings still going to go to town on it. And that one will go down. Still not much firepower here. One Colossus trying to reign supreme against this, but in the end, I think Polt just completely rolls across this. The Vikings have all but gone, and in fact, they do die off.
The Colossus almost survived from the Viking shot here. Another one is on the way, and no photon overcharge to help Grubby stabilize on 2 bases.
I think if Polt was reinforcing more aggressively, because look at his army back at home, then he probably could finish or have finished it. But Grubby's got a little bit of a lifeline for now. Polt's just going to back off and be content with his macro position, because his economy is amazing right now.
Grubby has some very good observer placements. He's got 3 around his bases right now, but I mean, he's trying to get charge. He's getting level 2 armor upgrade as well. Polt just now starting an armory, so Grubby might be able to stabilize and try and take a third, but I think Polt just doesn't want to let that happen, and he's going to look to attack very soon and finish the game. Look at the army supply, almost double.
Yeah, this army is just too much for Grubby to deal with. He needs miracle force fields here to try and pin this back.
He almost has photon overcharge.
Exactly, he needs that photon overcharge here. Force fields go down, and that's to steal off a lot of that bio on the side of the force fields, which to greatly affect how much you can try and divide and conquer. But in the end, the Colossus falls down as well to a very, very pristine stim up there. And GG, as Polt takes the first game. A weird way to open up this series, gotta say.
A very pristine Steam.
This guy. I'm in the moment, man. I'm like, it's just things fly by. It's like the Matrix. I just don't.
When you cast, it's like this. It's like, things fly by.
It's like, it's
pristine,
crazy.
Decimated, evaporated. Like all these adjectives flying next to you, and then you just pick one random.
It's so
one.
nice to have you back, Todd. God damn it. All right, game number 2 in the way in just a little bit. And
I think it was Newkirk.
Was it? You are correct. It is Newkirk.
And I like that they are playing on very, very standard maps. Like they both vetoed like what you would expect them to veto. Actually, in Polt's case, he vetoed Aquilon first, which I think is okay. But like he vetoed Neoplanet as second. I kind of, when a Terran vetoes Neoplanet against me, I kind of feel like he's doing the work for me because I don't really like it versus Terran.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right. Is there any particular reason a Terran wouldn't like Neoplanet against Protoss?
I mean, it's not that easy to drop compared to some other maps, like Whirlwind, for example.
That's true.
And I guess taking a third could be a little bit hard, but now Protoss with the current play where we play very defensive and we try to defend against Medivacs and we got really good at it, it's not as good for Terran as it used to be when it first came out. With the meta games changes, I guess the strategies and the play styles and the maps that you would want to remove change as well. And Neoplanet is a direct cause of that now. Yeah.
And then Newkirk Precinct, actually, looking through the statistics of the entirety of WCS EU and America, Belshire Vestige was the first most common map. People really like Belshire Vestige. And Newkirk Precinct is actually the second most common map that we're seeing now. So whereas it used to be a map that people really didn't like too much, people have seemed to have liked it quite a bit. Well, before the changes, it wasn't that common in tournament play in comparison to how common it is now. It's heightened. It's got.
You
more
mean
popular.
Newkirk Precinct compared to Newkirk City?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one. Dude, the changes.
Yeah. It's like a completely different map,
Yeah.
I think, with the way they changed it. So
I think
makes
the changes
sense.
were relatively subtle though. Not huge fucking. Not completely changing the map, but. The dynamics are really good now. Do you enjoy playing on this map?
It still feels like a split map, but not as split as before. Like before, it's literally like you take a third. I guess what? You got a 3/4, like an indoors force that on which you can make a few towers or cannons or spines and spores, and nobody's ever going to be able to take it. Whereas now, like with the new path and everything, and the way also, I always thought that the main on the previous Newkirk was like too large.
Oh yeah,
it was too easy to drop. Put some nidus or anything. Like now, I really like that it's much smaller. So as much as you can make as many buildings as before, at least in that regard, it's better defending against stuff.
I think the main on Newkirk City the first time around was actually the hardest thing to cover for a Protoss in terms of, yes, you got photon overcharge down if you were being dropped and stuff, but you could hide on the very edges of the map, of the main, and you couldn't actually reach it. So that was one thing that came about here in the changes that helps out Protoss a lot, especially in a map, especially in a matchup like this where there is those drops. So guys, let's jump into game number 2 as we now see if Grubby can compete and get himself back into a position where he is going to survive here, or if Polt will take the series 2-0, as we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner our blue Protoss fighting for survival. He is Grubby representing the Netherlands. And out of the bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Terran, currently 1 game up. He is Polt, representing CM Storm and Korea.
And America.
And USA, go, go.
Fighting for freedom.
Fighting for freedom, woo. I've never understood that, really. They always have this emphasis on freedom, but there's a lot of countries that are free.
Are you serious? You want to get into this right now?
Well, the Americans are like, no, we're the only free country. Don't take that away from us.
All right, Polt, command center first or not?
Yes, let's go with it. But actually, if you think about...
No, too late.
No.
Okay, no, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
The way Grubby opened up in the first game was very aggressive.
Yeah.
If he went command center first like that, it would be dead, right?
Yeah.
Surely you just die.
You would take a lot of damage, not necessarily die.
Okay.
I guess die a lot of the time.
And this is why we're seeing the barracks.
Yeah. And gas 12, so I guess 1 Reaper, maybe double Reaper opener. Although on this map, I don't think it's great. It's not the worst, obviously, but not the best either. And Grubby with a very quick scout. I guess he wants to know if he's up against a gas.
Yeah.
And also if he's up against a command center first. Because since I don't think he's going to rush this game, if he sees a command center first, remember what happens. First, he just threw down the Nexus. He didn't mind gas for a while. And this is really what you're going to want to have happen to you. Make sure you don't fall too far behind.
The scouting pattern of Grubby was quite interesting. Is it basically just him saying that he wants to scout out that direction for any kind of barracks placements or something like that?
Maybe he thinks it's shorter, which it might actually be. Like the AI is a little bit weird sometimes.
Yeah.
So not sure. I guess we need to ask him later.
Yeah, that was quite odd, as he was rallied around certain locations that he felt a bit more specific. But there is that Reaper on the way here for Polt, and he spots the gas, so he should know that there is that Reaper on the way.
Yeah, but actually, SCVs were pulled off the gas. I'm not sure if Grubby noticed. If he noticed, he's going to be able to know exactly what he's up against. I mean, just 1 Reaper into reactor, into a command center, which changes everything. And Polt, I mean, he really likes those engineering bay blocks.
Yeah. And he does it smartly as well, because he places it as far away from the ramp as possible. Where's the Reaper?
On the left.
Ooh, cheeky. Oh, there he goes. He found him. So he will get a free probe kill, but meanwhile the SCV might die. Ooh. Oh, no, it won't. Oh, it might do. Oh!
Ooh, the probe. That's Warcraft micro, man. Well, actually, it was just like replacing. Like moving into the course of that SCV. So 1-1, I guess.
So pro.
This game so far.
So pro.
1-1.
So pro. Anyway.
Press the unit slots tab.
Fine. 1-1. God damn it.
I want you to say it at least once.
1-1. Oh, it's not going to be 1-1. Here comes the Reaper. Oh. Oh, wait, the Stalker's there. Hey,
Make an extractor.
Run away. Run away. Make an extractor?
Yeah.
That's not a Zerg. All right, anyway, he's running away. Mothership call's on the way, and we have the expansion going down. So, Command Center was already started for Polt quite a while ago, so he can get himself in a nice economical position.
I'm surprised that Grubby is still on 2+2 on his gases, because he's got 19 mineral probes. Usually he will still do 3+3. And oh, the Reaper is going to get in the main this time.
Yeah.
And not go back. You think it gets killed or not?
I think it does get killed if the Stalker is controlled properly to hunt it down.
That's yes or no?
Yes, there you go. It's going to die. It's going to die. Is that what you want to hear, Todd? It's going to die. Look.
Oh, this is going to be so close. 1 hit point.
No!
And he gets away.
No, he got a probe
Thank
as
you,
well.
Polt.
Oh, damn it.
Actually, the probe. Oh, the Stalker is closing in.
As if the probe was going to get it.
Well, you never know with these little cheeky probes.
No, fine.
And Robo does go down by Grubby here.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess Grubby so far, I mean, his execution has not been great. Like losing these 2 probes. I guess the first one makes sense, although he could have done a better job at hiding it. The second one is not really forgivable at this point, and he's gonna go for a forge behind this. So this is the exact build that Rain and First have been using and been so successful with. You get a forge, you start to +1 armor, then you go into Colossus, and then you go into a Twilight Council, and then most of the time Blink.
This Reaper's doing all right for itself, man. It keeps moving around at the front and trying to have a little bit of a scout, but Grubby pokes up and does not see a command center. He sees a bunker, so he probably knows that there's going to be a command center down. So he feels content with what he knows. And the armor starts. I always love armor first against Terran. It's very nice.
Why?
Because it negates the small packets of damage.
Packets of damage?
I call them packets because of internet traffic. Never mind. It's actually not a long story. Go away. All right, what's going on, Todd?
I like the Stalker of Grubby sitting outside the natural of Polt, but he's going to have to be careful and keep a very good eye on this, because it could die very, very quickly, and you never want that to happen to you.
Yeah.
So I guess like there is a point, I would say like 8 minutes, maybe 8 minutes, 10, 20, you need to pull this one back, so you don't have to look at it anymore. It's not worth it anymore to stand in front of your opponent's base. And yeah, the Robo Bay as predicted. Maybe the Twilight Council will follow shortly, but...
He sees it instantly, though. He didn't see the Robo facility before, and he's only just seen the Robo Bay. It can't get away. Okay, it's gonna die. Okay, fine.
I think Grubby was thinking about pulling back his Stalker that he has in front of the base of Polt. I think he might do it soon, because he has an Observer getting into position there. And Grubby gets the perfect scout in the main of Polt. He sees the timing of the starport. He's gonna know exactly when the Medivacs can hit him. He has 2 gateways. Like, this is literally, to the letter, he's trying to do the build that Rain did versus Bomber before. And this is similar to what Parting did against Innovation as well.
How well do you think this is going to work out in Grubby's shoes?
It only depends on the execution. Like, so far, he has not been having the best execution, but if he can finally, like, defend better, take better fights, place his Observer well, Grubby might be able to win. But I don't know, like, Polt has been playing really well in the first game, so we'll see.
Wow, actually quite a few observers out here. 4 in total, 3 to keep the perimeter of his base safe.
Blink or charge?
Charge. I want charge.
Wrong.
You think wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, well, to complement the Colossus, it'll be Blink, right? Yeah. No, okay.
I just like to torture you.
Dude, I just like charge. I'm like Apollo, man. We like charge. It's good. It's cool. But yeah, to keep the Colossus safe, Blink is the better option. You're right.
All right, with the +1 and Blink on the way now, Grubby needs to start another Colossus. Is he going to stay on 1, actually? That will be different than what we've seen. But I guess if you do that, you're more likely to go charge, because then you go charge out Archon Templar.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't I guess his economy is not actually okay. Second Colossus is started, might start the thermal lens very, very soon as well. And Grubby, he wants to take a very quick third, a 10:30 third, which is exactly what Rain and Parting were doing against the third base.
Yeah.
Except look, what just happened?
It didn't go so
This
well.
didn't happen to Rain and Parting.
Nope.
So, I mean, at this point, Grubby has to be worried. He's trying to execute the build exactly like the players he's got the inspiration from, but it's just not working out at all for him right now.
And Blink and +1 weapons on the way here for Grubby to try and, I guess, break out of this slight position he finds himself in.
You know what I think the problem is? He starts Blink too late and he doesn't chrono boost it well.
Yeah.
So now he should have Blink, for example. He should have Stalkers in his main ready to Blink into his natural if it gets attacked.
Ooh.
And Grubby was playing a little bit too scared there.
And he is actually going to drop in here. He knows there's a few units there, so Polt's just going to take this engagement straight up, kills off one Zealot. Will he kill off the second? Oh, he actually goes for Colossus! They leave themselves very, very vulnerable. One of them goes down, does not get the second one. Happy and content to only lose 3 Marines.
And Blink is almost finished here. Grubby needs more Stalkers to make sure those Medivacs get punished if they try to get into his main again. And overall, as I said, he tries to execute the exact same build that he's seen before, but he's just not panning out as well. He started his third at 11:40 instead of 10:30 like he wanted. Behind this, he's going to be getting charged. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the Templar Archive soon and some extra gates as well. But his economy is much lower than it should be right now. So that's going to put him far behind on everything else.
Yeah, he's trying to get those probes out as furiously as he can do. And, well, Polt already loaded up another 2 medevacs that have just been spotted here. And he's going to try and push on forwards as well whilst going for this third base. But, oh, one of the medevacs does go down, but he's going to take 3 of these medevacs, try and move into the main base. Does not successful. Blinks forwards. Will he kill a medevac? No, he does not. These observers are very useful here for Grubby right now, really keeping an eye on the parameter.
And I really like that Grubby took the gases on his third very, very early, but he forgot the Templar Archive here for the longest time. He still hasn't started it. Okay, he starts it now, but look at his gateway count. He's got 4 gateways in total, whereas Polt, he's got 4 barracks, but he's been producing very continuously on them. Like he had his third base much earlier, so he's adding a lot of more barracks right now. And I think if he starts going for huge attacks before Grubby gets stormed, he's going to be in a great position.
Army counts currently 99 against 59. And as you said, with those lack of gateways here for Grubby, he's adding on so many because he knows he's in trouble here. He's adding on an extra, like, what, 5 gateways?
Yeah, I think Grubby needs to go into Archons here. That will be better than try to rush to Storm. He's going to have the photon, actually almost double photon overcharge up very, very soon. But his Stalker count is still very low compared to what it should be. It's 9. I think it should be like 12 right now.
This is going to be difficult, actually. Polt has a really nice concave on this location as well. He is just going to try and focus down this third base, lowering these units in from this side here. The Vikings don't have too bad a position against one of these Colossus that will go down very quickly. Stalker's trying to focus down the Vikings where they can, but the third has fallen. And even the Bio stims up and kills off a Colossus. There's so much damage being done from Polt. His armor is superior in every single way, killing him off. GG, well played, and Polt takes the victory 2-0.
And that last fight by Grubby, he's a classic mistake that I've seen on this map. When a Zerg or a Terran will attack you on this third base, they know you're going to have the photon overcharge, they know you're going to have Colossus, and they know that you dream of them attacking clumped up, then you can force field, everything dies. But so they're going to spread out very well. They're going to attack into that third base, and the Colossus, they're never going to get as much surface area as you would like them to have. And you can't force field very well either. So you need to basically reposition yourself at the start of the fight, anticipate which way they will attack you. Like, for example, in this game, I think Grubby should have positioned his entire army just below his nexus. And then imagine that first portion of the army that attacked his nexus from the bottom would have gotten fried by the Colossus. And then from there, he could move up. And then as soon as he moves up, the army starts attacking his army instead of the nexus. Then you pull back, you let the army group up together, and then you go again with your Colossus and try to fry everything. Because now, Polt used this supply advantage very, very well by spreading out like this.
He had a fantastic, fantastic position, I've got to agree. And that means that today we are technically done with Group B. The final game of Group B will be played out tomorrow before the quarterfinals, and Bomber has already advanced. Bomber defeated first, apparently very quickly. He was like, well, to hell with it. He beat him in WCS career. He's going to dispatch of him again. So that means our final game from Group B tomorrow will be First versus Polt.
Rematch.
Rematch, man. Polt needs to step it up. Doesn't want that to happen to him again.
To make ghosts.
Needs to make ghosts. All right, so that does it for Group B for us here on B Stream. Next match will be from Group C. We are going to cast Duck Duck versus Naniwa.
Oh my.
Ooh. Fun times. I know this guy's happy. I'm kind of happy as well. So all is fine. The A stream will have Innovation versus Tasia, so TVT and a PvP for you to sample from. So we shall see you in just a little bit. Small break, and then when we're back, we'll have Duck Duck versus Naniwa.